Your WavyOcho gonna react to the WWE Blacklist. That means like you can't come back to the WWE no more. You banned forever.
WWE has existed for decades, and in that time, so many wrestlers have came and gone from the company. Sometimes, though, wrestlers return to the WWE, but sometimes there
Or maybe sometimes wrestlers come back to the WWE, but it's only like a one-time thing. Like it don't be for long.
are wrestlers who never return to the WWE, and sometimes there's a reason why. Today, we're going to be discussing wrestlers who were blacklisted from the WWE. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's begin. On April 3rd, 2007, it was announced that Scott Colton had signed a contract with the WWE. By this point, he had made himself one of the biggest stars on the independent scene under the name of Colt Cabana, having wrestled all over the globe in various independent companies and being very successful in his championships. And by the time he had signed, his good buddy at the time, CM Punk, was also there, a man who he was two-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions with, and also a man who wasn't doing not too badly for himself in the WWE and proving that independent wrestlers can maybe do well there. But maybe not for Scott Colton. He didn't really do too much while he was in the WWE. In fact, while he was in OVW, he did actually do alright. He's a two-time OVW Southern Tag Team Champion, winning it once with Charles Evans, whoever that is, and once with Shawn Spears. And he was also a one-time...
Son, that got a bag, got a pop brown paper bag, got a big nose with the mouth and with the hair. I think that's supposed to be the Great Khali. I mean, I think so.
OVW television champion before he got his call up to the main roster. On the August 15th, 2008 episode of SmackDown, he made his debut on the show as Scotty Goldman. He debuted in a loss to the Brian Kendrick, and from there, he was exclusively a jobber for SmackDown. Scotty Goldman was pretty much used only exclusively in squash matches or as fodder in battle royals, where he was often eliminated early or most of the time first. And it was about 5 months of this before he was released from his WWE contract on February 20th, 2009, and would return to the independent scene. He went back to using the Colt Cabana name and immediately went back to doing well for himself in the independent scene and continued his success that he was having before he joined the WWE. And after a couple of years of doing that again, it looked as though he was most likely never going to return to the WWE and they were never going to want to bring him back. And after a podcast he released in 2014, that was cemented. I am of course referring to the infamous Art of Wrestling podcast featuring CM Punk. The Art of Wrestling podcast was a podcast hosted by Colt Cabana in which he'd interview his fellow indie wrestlers and colleagues from all around the globe, telling wrestling stories, all that jazz, and perhaps his biggest episode of all time was the CM Punk episode in 2014, his first wrestling interview since he walked out of the WWE. This interview of course featured them shitting on Ryback, the WWE's doctors, Vince McMahon owing him one, and much, much more. And it obviously led to the lawsuit between the WWE doctor Chris Amann and CM Punk and Colt Cabana. A lawsuit that they would win, but also a lawsuit that led to the friendship declining between Colt Cabana and CM Punk. They won, but at what cost?
And now Punk and Cabana not even friends no more. They not friends, you know. Like Punk bashed Colt Cabana in that press conference. You heard? And they both work for Tony Khan too, so
In 2014, Zara Schreiber was signed to the WWE and reported to the Performance Center. Zara Schreiber had a very short-lived time in NXT, only lasting less than a year. Before that point, she had trained at the House of Truth Wrestling School being ran by Truth Martini and Jimmy Jacobs, but despite having training, she never actually had a match while she was in NXT. She was one of those people in NXT who was only ever seen in the background of segments or used as an extra. For example, she was often used as a rosebud for Adam Rose, which obviously many other wrestlers did. And yeah, WWE seemingly must have had no idea what to do with her. They first started experimenting with her by making her a ring announcer for a couple of live events and live shows alongside Dasha Fuentes, and then she would actually get an official role in the company when she would become the manager for Sami Callihan while he was doing his Solomon Crow hacker gimmick. She was playing the sister of Solomon Crow, and they started working together on live events, and this was a pretty good role for her to get herself. Had it ever...
She tatted too. She mad tatted. Do y'all like girls that's mad tatted in the neck, in her body? Or do y'all like... And also, do y'all like girls with face tattoos? Let me know.
Made it onto TV, and had she ever made it onto TV, because just 2 days after they debuted together at a house show, she was released from the WWE. And the reason standing to her release was some old Instagram posts. Zara got herself wrapped up in controversy when old Instagram pictures with Nazi imagery were uncovered. This TMZ article about the situation reads as the following. WWE diva Zara Schreiber, the girlfriend of WWE superstar Seth Rollins, has been fired from the organization because of pro-Nazi artwork she posted on her Instagram. Zara posted pics back in 2012 of swastikas and a My Little Pony character dressed as Hitler, one-arm salute and all. She removed the pics, but someone dug them up over the weekend. The WWE got wind of it and swiftly fired her due to inappropriate and offensive remarks. Zara said when she posted the pics, "I like history, huh?" She also said the swastika means prosperity and luck. It was around way before Hitler turned it into an icon. Apparently, the WWE wasn't buying what she was selling. Prime journalism from TMZ. In old comments from 2012, Zara claims the reason she owns it is only because she is a history buff. But regardless, Zara would retire from wrestling soon after being released from the company, having only ever had one match, according to her cage match. In April of 2008, Joshua Klotz would debut in OVW, the developmental territory for WWE at the time. He would begin using the name Brent Wellington and would make his gimmick to that of a necrophiliac because wrestling is just so normal. In July 2009, he won the OVW Television Championship, and in February 2010, he won the OVW Heavyweight Championship. And it was in mid-2010 that he would officially sign a developmental contract with the WWE, and he was renamed to Brad Maddox and would debut in Florida Championship Wrestling. He did very well for himself in Florida Championship Wrestling. In fact, he is a one-time FCW Jack Briscoe 15 champion, because, yes, that's the name of a championship belt in FCW. In 2012, he was promoted to the main roster where he started working as a referee. He would referee all the matches on TV, literally nothing to pay attention to. He was just a referee. Until on October 28th at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in 2012, when he refereed the event, which was a
Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Ryback for the WWE Championship. A match that Brad Maddox cost Ryback the win of after he low-blowed Ryback and gave CM Punk the fast count. This was Brad Maddox's official debut in WWE, where he was now debuting as a crooked heel referee. He revealed the reason he did this was because he has a lifelong dream of being a WWE wrestler, so he attacked Ryback to make a name for himself so he could try and do this. Actually pretty interesting motivations. Let's see where they go with this. Well, after this, basically Brad Maddox got caught up in many storylines with other authority figures where they would say, yeah, we'll give you a contract for the company if you can beat this person. And pretty much in every single match, he was squashed. He lost to Ryback, Randy Orton, Brodus Clay, The Great Khali, and Sheamus, all in matches that were to earn a WWE contract. He just couldn't get the bag. He got himself the spot as Raw GM, which I just can't imagine how Brad Maddox must have felt. Like, this guy was a wrestler, and he was first called up as a referee, and now the GM. They just won't let the guy wrestle on TV. But regardless, it was good TV time. He was working with top names, and also feuded with the Authority. He was a big part of the whole Authority takeover of the WWE. He was relieved of his Raw duties in 2014, and will remain off TV for pretty much the rest of the year, but would be wrestling on house shows. And Brad Maddox would just continue on house shows, other than one match on main event. Yes, one match on TV, and then the rest all just wrestling on live events until November 25th, 2015, when he was released by the WWE after referring to the audience as cocky pricks during a promo before a dark match. From what we saw in his run, where the WWE just seemingly had no idea what to do with him, we can infer that they'll probably never bring him back. And there's also some other reasons they're not going to bring him back, but we don't have.
Okay, that's the vid. Like he said, there's other reasons why Brad Maddox won't come back to WWE. But if y'all know, y'all know. But yeah, bro. Feel me? Like so out of the three out of this list, which damn. So out of the three like wrestlers like on this video, which would y'all like to see like come back to the WWE, bro? Comment that down below. Alright, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all the vibes. We're checking out you are.